What is up, A team? Welcome back. Awesome here. Hope everyone's having an awesome day or night, depending on what, but I hope it's awesome. And I know it's awesome because the markets are absolutely killing it right now. Yes, you can see right now the Bitcoin did reclaim 85,000. It's come down slightly over the last, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes now, back to 84,600. So the markets have come down just slightly over the last, I don't know, 30 or 40 minutes or so. But it is nice to wake up and see that we're finally in the green. As of yesterday, when we were filming or going live yesterday, I mean, XRP was sitting around the 202 mark. You know, this thing went up, hovering around the 215, now back down to 214. So things are actually looking pretty good from a cryptocurrency market. It is nice to wake up and see a lot of us in the green today. And hopefully we can continue into the green the rest of this week, going into this week. There's some good news coming out today regarding some tariffs with Donald Trump. Good news coming out today in regards to sort of what is going on with XRP. As you guys can see, there was a lot of money inflowing and a lot of money moving around for XRP. We're talking billions of dollars when it came to just inflow and outflow of XRP. So that's what we want. We want the volume to be coming in. Plus, there's been a lot of discussion. As you guys know, yesterday was one of the crypto summit things that they did before. And a lot of people were talking about where they want Bitcoin, what they're trying to look for. And the United States government is looking to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. So that's kind of stuff that you want to hear, especially if you're in the digital assets realm of things. And so, yeah, overall, I mean, the cryptocurrency market came back nicely. And so before we jump into anything, I do want to say what's up to everyone. We got Jeffrey, what's up, man? Albert, Pinocchio, what's up, dude? Annoying, charming, what's going on? Appreciate you guys all being here. We got Tobias in the house here. We got Lucky Thoughts. Good to see you guys. Scott, Josh, Trent, what's up, Trent? Hope everything's all well. That guy, what's up, buddy? What's going on? Good to see you, dude. You're looking hard today. Well, because I got the hat on. I don't think this might be the first time I think I ever wore my trucker hat on stream. So yeah, what you got a hat on? Barber mess up? No, I just woke up and I had to do some things. So I had to fix some things around the house this morning, and so yeah, I just put a hat on today, man. Just Terry, dude, thanks so much for gifting 10 memberships to the A team. Appreciate you, my guy. And a fan sent me up. You guys are for whatever reason, man. You guys are you're definitely getting nice and skinny, bro. So kudos to your weight loss, man. And thank you so much for the gifting 10 memberships to the A team. If you got gifted a membership by that guy, please say thank you. And those 10 new members, welcome to the A team. Appreciate you. That's great. Cheers. Yeah, thank you, that guy. Oh, that's awesome. Moist Mike, what's up, man? Looks didn't mean to roast you. Oh, looks good. Didn't mean to roast. No, you're good. You're good. You didn't roast me. Trust me. I'm not a snowflake, man. You can roast me all you want. So let's actually jump into it though. We got some good things coming up today. As you guys can see right here, let me get this up here. Oops, let's add it to the stage. There we go. You can see right here that the market has come down just slightly over this last hour. I mean, Bitcoin back down, just 0.46% back to 84,720. So a little bit of some relief right there. Ethereum came up to 1645. So, I mean, we're looking really good. XRP, 214. Again, this is hovering around. We went up about 10 cents, 10 to 11 cents as of yesterday. One of my favorites right here, obviously XLM. We weren't talking a lot about it, but that's coming back nicely. And then HBAR back above 17 cents, which is always nice to sort of see from an HBAR standpoint. But a lot of other projects here are going to be doing pretty well. Again, it has to do a lot with what's being said right here. Trump exempts phones, computers, chips from new tariffs. So this obviously came through about maybe 2 hours ago. This was the discussion being had here. And then Trump's ongoing 25% auto tariff expected to cut sales by millions. So there's like this up and down between him cutting these things from a tech side, but then holding them accountable on another. So there's some mixed feelings, but overall, I think things are looking pretty good, dude. J-Man, thanks so much for the $2 super chat here. What is a good price to buy Bitcoin now? I've been saying accumulate Bitcoin as much as possible in this downturn. I mean, I think right now, I think it's been for a while now. I mean, people think it could go back down, and like I said, I'm just looking to accumulate. Again, if your goal is to hold for a long period of time, trying to accumulate the best prices is where we're at. And I mean, when you're looking at this, like the numbers just aren't adding up for me. So people will think that the bottom was in already on this, and I feel pretty confident that we were pretty damn close when we got down here to 74,000 for Bitcoin to be in. You got a lot of economists out there that are saying the same thing, saying that the bottom could have potentially been in. So when people start talking about recession, when you hear like, Larry Fink and all these CEOs and Jamie Dimon and all these people out here saying, oh, it looks like a recession, when everyone's pushing fear, realize that that's the time to actually be buying the market. When people are pushing the fears, when we should be buying the market. It's all manipulation. It's all, people trying to sell positions to be able to enter in at a better price. And so I'm hoping that things actually turn around here. So I'm hoping we hit bottom, and we're at least up for the next couple of weeks. Because as you guys can see right here, we've been down. I mean, if you go down here, everyone, just looking at the RSI and the weekly. This is the weekly chart, by the way. I've been really looking at the weeklies, and really the reason why I'm looking at the weeklies is because of just trying to figure out where we actually run from here. So this is the last bull run right here. The bear market obviously came down. The one good thing about the bear market is that the 100-day EMA never crossed over the 200-day EMA. It got close, but usually the 50 crosses over when we're in a bear. And you can see here on the weekly that this hasn't even been close to coming back down. We're actually it's kind of in this scenario right here. You can see we've come up right here, and it's kind of teetered right here. We're kind of doing the same thing here, teetered for another run. And that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that this is the next leg up right here that we'll see. We had this leg up. We come down a little bit for a relief, which again, if you look at this, was roughly about a 52% decrease in the market right there. If we go back up here and run this back down, we're talking about a 30%. So we're not even close to where the other one was. So again, I think that we're still in for a run here, and I'm just going to watch the weekly chart, because when this actually starts to climb up, we actually go into a nice little into the green over the weekly. So just continue to monitor the weekly, and when this thing starts to reach up to the 20s right here, the 20% mark on your RSI, realize that that's where we're going to start gaining momentum, because once this thing passes that, we're going to start to see this thing come up to the 80% plus, and we always typically have a nice little green run, like what you could see right here. So just something to monitor. I'd rather be watching the weekly chart than any other chart at this point, especially if you're a long-term holder. So see people going hard on crypto banter, I guess. He's admitting he's a scammer. How do you admit that you're a scammer? Like, what goes into that? Like, hey guys, sorry, I just been scamming the hell out of you guys. Like, how do you go about admitting you're a scammer? And that's an honest question. I don't even know how you do that. You have to come clean with all your viewers or something like that. Like, sorry guys, I've been launching all these projects and telling you guys to buy, and I totally just took millions of dollars from you guys. Is that how it works? we need some upside for sure. It's been bear. You can see right here the weekly charts. We've been down for almost what? Let's see. We'll start right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Almost 2 months we've been in the red, dude. So we're talking 2.5 months. It's pretty wild when you start to think of that. I was hoping XRP would go back down this weekend so I can pick some more up. I know a lot of people feel the same way, right? A lot of people are like, hey, I wish XRP was at a better price so I could buy some. But XRP is in the same boat as I was looking at the charts this morning when it comes to the weeklies here. The weekly chart is when you look at this, anytime that we start to bottom out here, it's going to come back and we're going to have a nice little rally. I don't know when that's going to be, but last time that we were actually down for a significant period of time, we came bouncing back pretty good, right? It didn't actually reach the height of the previous run, which was right here in July of 2023. It reached a little bit up there, but it could give a nice little relief rally back up to maybe $2.50, somewhere in that ballpark for people to at least maybe sell for a profit, sell even, or hold for a long period of time. It's really up to you guys. Here we go again, hitting at 69, worst case scenario, but it's definitely not the end. Yeah, I don't think it's the end, Harry Potter. I can actually look at my wallet. I'm with you, dude. At the zero, watching my man Austin. Oh, appreciate you, man. Thank you, Johnny Appleseed. Code Core, Tim Shea. What's going on, guys? We got Manny coming in hot with the 99-cent super chat. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Hope you guys are having, like I said, hope you guys are having a great weekend. This is nice to wake up to. It makes you feel good. GS, what's up, bud? Austin, can you explain the rate cuts more and how it will benefit everyone? Well, the whole goal of a rate cut is, so I'll give you an example. So I told you guys yesterday that I financed on the business side, I helped my father open up my stepfather. So I have my real dad and then I have my stepdad, and they're both, I'm both really close with both of them. I started a little business with him, and I helped my stepdad, and we went out and we purchased a van for his work, right? And basically what it was is the rates are so high, dude. We're talking a 7%. This is in the business side. It's actually close to 6%, or no, it's like 5. I think it was like 5.6% if I financed personally, and it was 7.1% if I financed through the business. And, again, I went through the business, so I'm paying a little bit higher APR because I'm doing it through the business versus personal. But that's because the rates are so high. So when the rate cuts start to come in, those rates are going to come down. And so then you'll have to refinance and things like that, which I probably will. I probably would refinance under the business to get a lower rate. So that's how it helps everyone. I mean, it's people that are trying to buy homes, people that are trying to buy big ticketed items like cars or whatever else, whatever loans out there, whatever other loans they got out there. And so it allows people to borrow from the bank. It allows builders to borrow. It allows people to borrow because again, that's how a lot of rich people in this world make money. If you guys don't know, is they borrow money. They actually don't use their own money. They borrow money, whether they borrow it on their property, whether they borrow it from the bank on a loan, whatever it might be. I mean, they're borrowing money. They're not taking their money from their own bank account and spending it on their investments. They're actually borrowing that money and spending it, just like the United States does right now, which is why we're trillions and trillions of dollars in debt, because we're constantly borrowing money to then try to make money. And so when you get into that concept of borrow the money versus using your own money, it will change your perspective on everything. And so to borrow that money, you got to have better interest rates. And right now, interest rates are just not good. So the borrowing of monies, people aren't borrowing money. So we want people to borrow money because then it'll allow the economy to flourish based off of that. So that's like in a nutshell, I guess, like a 101 of what interest rates are. There's probably a lot more intricacies to that than what I've explained here, but that's kind of the gist of where it's at. Austin, XRP may be gearing up for a significant move. Yeah, I saw this right now. You can see right here, a massive $3 billion worth of XRP in 24 hours. What's going on? So as you guys can see right here, accumulations of over $3 billion in XRP. You can see that a lot of this has moved around. It says in the most recent step in the SEC litigations, Ripple Labs and USC Securities Commission jointly filed a request to suspend their appeals while they pursue a negotiation. So you can see that's actually really, really good. So obviously that came in. There was a net inflow with transactions coming in today, which is really, really good, which caused the price to go up significantly. So according to Glassnode, during XRP's February spike, they realized the realized cap nearly doubled from 30 billion to 64 billion with a 30 billion inflow. So we're starting to sort of see that. Along with that, you can see right here that will Ripple's $50 million fine be added to the digital stockpile? So they're saying that they're going to potentially pay the fine in XRP versus that in actual US dollar. And then that would just add $50 million of XRP to the reserves to basically be held. So whether that happens or not, I don't know. It says currently the government holds over 16 million worth of crypto on the blockchain wall, which is pretty badass. I mean, that's a lot of money. So yeah, I think there's a lot of developments when it comes to XRP. So let's see here. Only 39 degrees in New Jersey. Gosh, dang, dude. It's 55 here. Austin, I appreciate you being you, and your content is great. Cheers. I appreciate you, Future Prophet. Thanks, man. Thanks for always, you guys are always so kind, man. Even if I'm gone for quite some time and come back, you guys are always super cool, dude. In your opinion, BTC going to go back to 75? Jamin, I hope not. Like I said, I hope not. If it does, I'm prepared for it. But I'm honestly, I really hope not. I hope we hit bottom, dude. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't read the future here. Like I said, you had JP Morgan come out and say the recession's off. And then literally the next day, they're like, maybe there's a chance we have a recession. So even like the largest institutions out there can't even really judge what's going on. But I truly hope and feel that the bottom's in. I just want to, that's just where I'm at. Maybe I'm trying to be optimistic. Maybe I'm trying to convince myself to be optimistic with it. And I'd rather be optimistic than pessimistic, and because it just makes me feel better. So I'm going to say that, just for my own psyche, that I the bottom's in, and I'm going to try to push everything that we're going to have better days. So Brad has a lot in store for XRP, Ripple's future. I agree, Insane Man. Insane Mania. Only 2 months out. Yeah, only 2 months out. Only 2 months in. And yeah, I mean, everything's going to be fine. XRP is still good to buy zone. Yeah, $2 is kind of that buy zone. T-Bay, best launch for the Pure Wallet. I'm going to say it's probably going to be after, probably into June. I'd say probably in June after Bitcoin conference, if I had to guess. I haven't talked to the team in like a week or so. So it's been a while since I've talked to the team. I know they're working on it. I know they're doing a bunch of things, but yeah, I'm hoping that they launch somewhere in probably June would be my best. Like I said, if I had to advise them, if I was like their advisor, I would not launch in a market like this anyways, because it would just fall flat. So clickbait. Yeah, you guys know me. My thumbnail is hella clickbait today, dude. So just open a Roth IRA through I Trust Capital. Oh, okay. They let you attach crypto. Yeah, I Trust Capital has been around for a while, dude. You could actually the reason a lot of people actually went away from I Trust Capital because during the bear market, they actually screwed over a lot of influencers, and there was a lot of content creators out there that were pushing I Trust Capital, and then a couple of them got screwed over, right? And especially over the BitBoy thing. And so then a lot of people went away from I Trust Capital and talking about them because they kind of treated a lot of people poorly. So, unfortunately, I don't support I Trust Capital. They're great if you want to invest in it, but not something I would actually probably support because of how they did a couple of influencers and content creators wrong during the bear market, right? When it's like they expect you to help them when everything's great, you're perfect, but then when the market starts to turn, they turn against you, and it's just kind of crazy how that is, right? So they're your best friend when they're making money, but when they start to lose money, then you're the reason. So is your dad the one? AuzSOME, is your dad the one on Louder with Crowder? No, that's not him. I'm having trouble learning about how wallets work. Can you make a video explaining it? Yeah, I can there's so many videos out there already, dude. I don't know if I can make better. There's probably a ton of videos out there on how wallets work. All the wallet is, to be honest with you, all the wallet is just an interface for the blockchain, dude. So when you're on an exchange, just realize that when you're on an exchange, you're on the exchange's blockchain. So what they're doing is they're actually taking money off of the blockchain and moving it into an exchange that they actually are the custodian of. So when you actually move it to a wallet, it moves it back on chain. When you move your crypto from Ethereum, if you buy Ethereum on Coinbase, you're buying it off chain. You're basically buying it over the counter. And so that's why you can't track it. That's why you can't track where it's at, because it's basically off chain. It's Coinbase holding basically a pot of Ethereum. So when you move it to a wallet, it goes back on the Ethereum blockchain and it's now on chain. And all the wallet does is just an interface for the blockchain. So it's just an interface for that chain. It tells you the price and everything like that. So it's really just an interface. It's nothing more than that. No different than your bank account, right? Your bank account's just an interface for when you log online to your bank account. It's just an interface for what's in your bank account. What are your thoughts on the recent XCM moves? I don't know. I honestly think it's great for a lot of people that invest in it. I haven't invested in XCN, so it is, there's nothing against it. It's doing really well. Hopefully people sold yesterday and made some decent profit off it. We can take a look at it real quick. XCN's come down, yeah. No, it's still sitting pretty good. I think when we were talking, this thing was up to like 2.5 or something like that. So it's come down a little bit. I think we're up here at 2.5 area. So it's come down like 20%. It's not too bad, actually. That's a nice little, that's a God candle right there. Gosh dang, dude. That thing ripped, dude. It's down a little bit today, but that's definitely went on a massive tear. So can't dog that. Yeah, but again, XRP is sitting good right there. That's awesome. I enjoy your videos and your thoughts. Oh, I appreciate you, Manny. I'm headed to LA for the Nintendo Switch event. Oh, that's badass. Weak dollar going to be a winner for crypto. Yeah, it could be. Do you think the Chainlink will hit $100? Chainlink, I think Chainlink's going to continue to do well. I don't know if it's going to hit all-time highs, but it's definitely going to do well. The reason why is because they've added more tokens into the circulation. Do you know why XRP has gone up today? I think it's just the markets in general. Again, a lot of this stuff is traded on an algorithm, guys. So if it's traded on an algorithm, a lot of these cryptos are traded on that algorithm. That's why the whole markets go together. It's not any particular reason. Like I said, I think some of the reasons is that the President Trump exempts smartphones, computers, and chips from new tariffs. So I think that's a big factor. You go back over here, and I think this is what I've been talking to you guys about a lot on the channel here. Is this right here? Let me play it for you guys real quick. Let me share the screen here real quick. Where'd it go? There it is. All right, let me share this with you guys, and then you can hear what she says. I don't know if you guys heard this today, but this is huge. If you haven't heard it, definitely take a listen on it. So let me get the volume up for you guys. There we go.
This is what Democrats and Republicans have been calling on presidents to do for decades, to reorder the global trading system in which the United States has been ripped off, in which our nation has been bankrupt with crippling deficits with nearly every single country on the planet. Finally, President Trump is standing up and saying no more. He has the courage to use the leverage of this great country to put our workers first, and the American people and small business owners and CEOs on Wall Street and owners on Main Street and manufacturing workers are going to be better off because of the economic agenda of this president. And it's not just tariffs, Sean, it's tax cuts too. And those are coming. Because of President Trump's determination, the House passed the framework for the budget reconciliation process yesterday. We are moving towards some of the largest tax cuts in American history, coupled with massive deregulation, massive energy boom that's going to lead to even more lowering of prices in our great country. Trust in President Trump. It's an economic formula that works. He did it in his first term, and he's doing it again.
So I said that before on the channel. I've been very consistent with this well before even Trump's presidency, is that one of his biggest pushes, obviously, he wants to make the largest tax cuts in history. We've talked about this multiple times. When you start to do that, you start to deregulate, you start to make energy cheaper, you start to have tax breaks, not just for the poor, not just for the middle class, but for the rich. You're going to obviously bring back a lot of money into the markets here. And so the people that are going to prosper the most are people like you and I. So the people that are not going to prosper from this are the people that are not invested in the stocks. People that are not invested in at all, right? So unfortunately, the lower class of America will probably not benefit. They'll benefit from the economy doing better. They'll benefit from maybe lower inflation, benefit from that. But a lot of the lower class doesn't actually invest in the stock market. 88% of the stock market's actually owned by the upper middle class and mostly million and billionaires, right? So that's pretty crazy when you think about that. 88% of the stock market is actually owned by the rich. So that means that's only leaving over roughly what is that? 12% goes to the rest. And so when we talk about, you are the 5% or you're the 7%ers, that's a true statement, because there's really not that many people that are invested in these markets like we think they are. I mean, it's pretty crazy when you start to really think about how little people are invested in these markets. And the way that you make money from the rich. So people come out here and they dog the rich from getting tax cuts. Like, oh, they're for the rich people. They're for the rich people. They're here. But I don't think people realize that how much that actually benefits the middle class people that understand putting their money into markets like this. And that's where we're going to make a lot of money. We saw it in 2016. If you're new to the markets, you saw it 2016 was great. 2021 was great. And again, coming up here, we're going to see it again. And so people that are on the lower scale of this, you have to get your money in the markets. Like I couldn't say that enough to people, is that try to find a way to buy some of these markets, because when these tax cuts hit, and they're going to hit, these markets are going to explode. And there's no question about it, dude. Every economist out there, everyone out there knows that when the tax cuts hit, history has shown that we have a massive bump in the markets. And that's how you get someone from, lower middle class to upper middle class, is through investing in markets before the booms. And that's how you make the markets run. So, as much as people want to dog the rich getting richer, it helps the middle class and lower class also, obtain wealth too. So it's not just always one way. The full moon is giving great vibes today. All right. What's your XRP price prediction? I'm still sticking at my price predictions of 701, dude. That's kind of my goal right now. Good morning. Good morning to you. His dad is Jim Cramer. No way, dude. I couldn't even deem that. How's the Hemi and the Hemi? TJ, thanks so much for the $10 super chat here. I don't want to be super negative, but there hasn't been a time in the last 4 months that XRP hasn't sold off all of its gains. Not super hopeful, but freaking here for it. Yeah, I'm with you, TJ. I think the whole market in general, like if we just take a look at let me stop sharing this real quick, and I'll come back. And it's weird how they do that. I hate how they do this whole thing where you have to share. You have to share a tab. It's so dumb. But when you look at where XRP is at, there has been times where it's sold off and it's come back. But this we haven't really seen a rip like this. This is a pretty big rip right here if you think about it. So we've had the sell off right here, but if we can recover and sustain where we're at right now, I think that we're on to the next levels, which again is right up here to the 385 to the 405. Or 450, which is right in this area. So I'm going to continually stay in that area, if you ask me. So again, I appreciate the $10 super chat as well. What's up? What's going on XRP? The XRP price is now moving towards, sorry, I'm far behind on the chat here too, guys. Sorry about that. F Joe, what's up, man? A Saturday stream, what happened? We don't have soccer today. Well, we do have soccer. We're actually going to a game today, but it's not till later. So honestly, I joined crypto out of spite because I was so mad at Trump getting elected. I put my money where he puts his. Dude, that's probably the dude. Like that is. I actually tell you the truth. That is awesome. Like that's how it should be, right? you might not like the person, you might not like that, but just put your money in the markets where you think you can make money. Let's just try to make money. And that's what I said before. My father's always said it to me too, is who cares who's in office? Just try to put your money in places where you can actually make money. And so that's awesome that you actually were able to get over that and do that, because I think that's super important. Some people can't even do that. H bar excellent. H bar for sure, dude. Was wondering why markets are up. I think the markets are up just because of, there could be a little bit of relief. They're traded on an algorithm, and I think Trump's rhetoric is helping it too. So, yeah, no, so no problem, man. Protect your assets. Make sure you have your holding companies in place. Prepare accordingly. Yeah, 100% on that too. Anyone can start a trust in Wyoming. I think about it. You don't need to be a resident. Yeah, and I think North Dakota, you can be. I think you have to be a resident there. You only have to be there for 1 day to be a resident there. So that's kind of crazy. I didn't know you could do that in Wyoming. That's pretty badass. I got into crypto because Edward Jones said not getting into crypto is the foreseeable future. That's awesome. After Biden opened the borders and printed money. Yeah, there's a lot of, again, we're not all going to agree on politics here, but like I said, the one thing that I think we're all trying to do is trying to better our lives, and we're all trying to better our lives through trying to create some kind of wealth in our own way, whether that's generational wealth for you, or whether that's just trying to create retirement or whatever it might be. And I think we're all aiming for the same thing here across America, right? To be able to live a little bit more comfortably than we have before, maybe live better off than let our kids live a little bit better than how we lived as kids, and that whole scenario. And the only way to do that is if you invest in these markets. That's the only way to do it. And like I said, unfortunately, the lower class and some of the lower middle class don't invest in these markets. It's just not, and they'll miss these opportunities significantly. Just don't be that person. Just don't be that person. You know what I mean? Regardless of who's in office, regardless of who's out there, right? Like the people that are out here shitting on Tesla. Like, I get you might not like Tesla, dude, but a lot of us are here to make money. I don't give a shit about everything else. I care about making generational wealth for me, my kids, so that my kids can live a better lifestyle, a better childhood than myself, right? And we all work hard for what we have, and I think it's important that you just put aside emotion and just be a little bit smarter about how you want to trade. So, Tesla, obviously we got in at 225. People dog Tesla, but I mean, it's sitting here at 252. This thing is going to come back. It went down 50%, dude, from one of the top 7. It's part of the top 7 stocks in the world. And it went down 50% in a matter of like 2 days. Like, you can't tell me that the people aren't going to be buying up that bottom of that stock. People that hate Tesla probably bought up the bottom of that stock because they're greedy just like everyone else. You can't tell me that Bill Gates didn't come in and buy up the bottom of that stock after he completely shorted the shit out of it. Come on. Let's be smarter than that. Markets are up because electronics and their components will not fall under the tariff. Yeah, that's a big one, Health Citizen. That's a big one. I could name 10 Trump policies I agree with. I just cannot support people not receiving constitutional rights. I get that. And not every policy you're going to agree with, right? I don't, there's a lot of things that I don't agree with, but there's some things that I agree with too. So, you're not going to always 100% agree with everything. Yeah, it's just kind of one of those things, I don't, yeah. That would be a healthy pullback from here to the 218 high. Probably let's actually take a look at that. We could take a look at a little healthy pullback here. I mean, we're already having a pullback here, so let's actually take a look here. Even the $2 getting back down to the $2 mark. Like, we don't want to get back down to the $2 mark, but again, the $2 mark is kind of like this area of the massive support down here in the area. You can see right there, $2 exactly is the number one area for support right here for XRP. You can see right there, red line. That's a $2 support level right there. But yeah, I mean, we could get back down. You can see this fair value gap right here on the hour chart. Let's go to the 4 hour. Yeah, you're probably looking at a nice little pullback to probably right around the 207 mark. 207 could be a nice little pullback. You know what I mean? You could even get down to the 205 range. So, somewhere in there could be a nice little healthy pullback. But like $2 is kind of like where I would probably, if you want to be a little aggressive, you could probably say, okay, I'll put one at 205. because I want to be able to get in on this next little dip that it has here, and then put another one at $2. But we know that $2 is a pretty good support level for XRP. So to each our own on where we look at that, though. I've been saying $2 for months. They hate Tesla because they told by the Democrats and the media. Yeah, I mean, I don't hold Tesla. I don't own a Tesla. Sorry, I hold Tesla. I don't own a Tesla. I live in the worst state to actually own a Tesla. So I'm thankful that I don't own a Tesla because it'd probably be burned to the ground. But I mean, doesn't mean that I'm not going to go try to make money off Tesla stock. I mean, come on. Just because you're trying to make money off Tesla stock doesn't mean you're supporting Tesla in any way, right? Even though I do support Tesla, I do support what they got going on. They're a huge tech company, man. I think they're trying to make they made so much change to the world. I mean, if you are a go green kind of person, I mean, Tesla is one of the biggest people to do that. So, but teach our own on that. Bill Gates been shorting Tesla for years now. He's part of WEF. Yeah, but you can't tell me he didn't buy. He shorted the hell out of it. You can't tell me that he didn't buy the bottom too, though. Right, he knows when the bottom's going to be in. He bought that up. He's gonna sell the top. He's gonna then short it again. Right, rinse and repeat. Why do we borrow money from our enemies? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Yeah, you never know, dude. Like I said, I mean, 12 years ago, Bitcoin was $100. 12 years ago, Bitcoin was $100, dude. Which is wild to say. 12 years ago, Bitcoin was $100. And so right now we're saying that let's just say that Bitcoin hit $100,000. Imagine if imagine the same growth, right? And that growth could happen because of the scarcity of Bitcoin, right? And again, who knows what's going to happen? But I mean, imagine if you could turn $100. What if you could turn $100 again into 100,000? Would you do it? Would you take that opportunity for 100,000 to turn $100 into 100,000? Would you take that opportunity if you had that opportunity again? Just like ask yourself. The answer is yeah. I mean, it's pretty simple. Yeah. I mean, you went up 1,000%, or sorry, you went up 1,000x your investment. You bought Bitcoin for $100, it goes up to 100,000. That means that you had 1,000x. So I mean, if you bought it today at $80,000 and you put it at 1,000x, that'd be $80 million, right? So we're saying that Bitcoin can be worth $80 million per one coin that's Saylor's theory. Saylor truly believes that in the next 12 to 15 years that like Bitcoin's gonna be worth like 20 to 40 to $50 million for one Bitcoin. Which is insanity. But I mean, people thought that when Bitcoin was $100 that it would never do this, and here we are. So I don't know, man. The scarcity of Bitcoin gets harder and harder. Every 4 years, the scarcity of Bitcoin is going to get more and more and more. And you got to think there's going to be more and more technology that comes out to make Bitcoin faster, more easily, more readily accessible, easier to transfer. There's going to be a lot more technology coming out with that kind of stuff. Dick's Burgers is good, bro. Owning a Tesla in or near Seattle is like pissing on El Dude, it's so true, man. It is so true. Like, I wouldn't, even if I had one, I probably would just park it in the garage and just like let it sit. A bunch of people here on the West Coast were saying buy electric vehicles are the future. Now they're burning them. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I agree with that statement. Actually, that kind of blows my mind too. A lot of the Teslas around here, which are pretty funny. You're starting to see when you driving. Because we have a ton of Teslas here in Seattle. I mean, we probably have some of the most Teslas ever. I mean, you can't turn a corner without seeing a Tesla. But they all have stickers now that says, "I bought the car to support the environment, not to support Musk," or something. I don't know, something along those lines. It's like, so they're like, "Hey, like, don't burn my car down. I've bought it because I'm supporting the earth. I'm not supporting the person who built them." And so, yeah, it's kind of crazy how that's all kind of gone where it's at, but. Secure the bags. We got some spam up in the house here. What's up, spammers? Oh, man. Let's see. I got to get through all these spams. Hold on. If I missed some of your comments now because of spams, I'm sorry. Market leaders, the same people also didn't believe in EVs. Now all over Tesla, 100%. Oh, the Pure Wallet site is saying I have no ETH in my SafePal when I do, which makes me unable to buy a Pure Wallet token. Any help? On the Pure Wallet side, it says I have no ETH in my Safe Pal. Oh, like when you can, so you're connecting your Safe Pal to, so are you connecting your Safe Pal to the website? Is that what you're saying? Sometimes you have to disconnect, try to disconnect and connect again. Sometimes you'll have to do that. What's up, Selmo? We got Selmo photo in the house here. Trent, since Musk bought Twitter in 2022, I saw signs in New Jersey telling Elon to stick to cars and not politics. Yeah, it's kind of switched how that switched, right? Yeah, they pushed for EVs and gave huge tax reliefs. Then Trump wins and Elon catches fraud in our government and they burn them. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how it all works out. I mean, it's kind of blows my mind, to be honest with you. Are we rich yet? Come on, mods. Yeah, we're come on. Here, I'll start I'll start putting people in timeout here. Over the weekend, I believe we will retest the 225 for value gap. You think so, Lindsay? All right. All right. Mods are starting to break a sweat because of all the spamming. Are they gone? Are they gone? But real talk, how likely are we to explode? We had some different trends this year. I think when the tax breaks come, I've already said this, dude. When the tax breaks come, when this actually happens, dude, and the rate cuts come down, we're gonna explode, dude. Just wait for the tax cuts. Again, I don't know when this is gonna come. This could come probably, like I said, probably end of Q2. It's got to go through. They've already put the structure together, so they've approved the structure. When the tax cuts happen, man, we saw it in 2016. Just go back and look at the history of 2016, and you'll be good to go. So they must recruit people. Incoming subscriber mode engage. I've already have subscriber mode on, I think, dude. So I think I already have subscriber mode on. That's funny. Yeah, I got subscriber mode on. What's causing all of this right now? Austin putting timeouters on timeout. Scroll to the bottom. I was at the bottom. With billions upon billions of savings, we the taxpayers need refunds. Yeah, I mean a refund would be nice, right? I remember one time on Texas. Oh yeah, whatever happened to Texas tornado, dude? And to ban like 100 people. That's pretty crazy. Anybody else do the reward stuff on Coinbase? No, I don't do the reward. I mean, I get rewards in USDC for that kind of stuff. Put some tariff on the spammers. Well, I guess I kind of did. They have to be a subscriber, so. So, but yeah, if we go back to 2000, I mean, like I've shown this before multiple times on the channel here. But I mean, if we just go back to 2016, I mean, we did pretty well. This is 2016 right here, 2016, 17. So Trump gets elected. Here's inauguration, right? Boom was the green line right here. The halving was the yellow line. Then boom, we had this right here was election. And, you know, we had this rally. The tax package came. I think the tax package in 2017, let's see. I think it came in, I think it was the end of June. We had the tax cuts come in. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act came in 2000, January 1st of 2018 is when the tax cuts came in. But you had to think that he actually didn't control the House. They pushed that thing down there. They kicked that can down the road because they didn't control. I don't think he controlled all branches of it. So it was kind of hard for them to push through, and it wasn't everything that he wanted. Now they're going to get this through before 2 years, dude. This is going to probably be at the Q3 going into Q4. We'll probably see a nice little turn. But you can see that's right around here when we started to see the rally in the market was right at the end of right going into Q4 2017. That's where we started to see the turn. But again, you don't want to be catching. This is kind of where I feel like this is kind of where we're at right now. We had this rally coming out of inauguration. You know, here we are in March, and then we came down and we kind of hit right here. We're kind of like a little bit below. This is July, so this would be end of what? Let's see. So we're going into Q3. So this is Q3 right here. And you can see at the end of Q3, we always hit this little thing at the end of every quarter. We've hit a little bottom here. So, you know, we're already starting to see we're into the next quarter right now. We're into Q2 right now. So, you know, now we should have a nice little rally out of Q2 to go into then Q3, which is then Q4. And so every time we end a quarter, we seem to go down, where there's a little bit of a sell-off. And so I'm kind of hoping that that's kind of where we're at right now. is that, we came up here. This is basically the end of a quarter right here. We had basically we had a fall all the way through a quarter here. So hopefully we continue to rally back out of this. We'll rally back up in here, throughout the quarter, maybe get back even again, maybe a little bit higher. And then we'll probably have a little bit of a sell off again at the end of Q2, and then a nice little rally for Q3. We'll have a little bit of a sell off and then a rally into Q4, which is, again, I think right around where Q4 will have a nice little rally like we did in 2021. Because as you guys know, back in 2021, this is kind of Q4. This is Q4. Q3, Q4 was this right here. So this kind of right here is exactly where we're at before, just a little bit ahead of the time, So I think we're going to kind of double that up. My buddy that got me on Coinbase was getting learning rewards. Yeah, they used to do that a lot. I know this is off topic, but for real, Doge needs to investigate all the road construction. Yeah, dude, there's so much road construction. It's insane. Rumble's growing. You should stream there too. They could use your content for sure. I've actually I tried to do the Rumble thing, but I could not connect it to my StreamYard for some reason. I tried to do Rumble, and I probably should jump over there and try to do a different thing. So, y'all think the bottom's finally in? Market is way too Trump tweet dependent. It is, Travis. It's almost like back in 2021 when Elon would tweet and the markets would go crazy, right? I work for an American company in Austria. We are hit hard. Oh, really? Damn. I did not know that. I'm steadily trying to get banned. My spouse just got a letter from Social Security for correction on past payments. Oh my gosh. I accidentally banned subscribers. My trigger finger was activated. Oh my gosh. What's up, Seiko? Multiple guess question. Watch a video on Coinbase and then guess answers if you're right and collect $70. I'd be down with that. Crypto Merc coming in hot with the $10 super chat. This is per example on how Wells use market manipulation to control markets. Never take a loss in crypto. Have the patience to hold certain times in the market cycle. Take profit percentage by dips. Yeah, I mean, that's what's nice about being in a position to, if you invest the money that you're willing to lose, you're not investing money that you need right now. It'll be so much easier to invest in a projects that you like and be able to hold through times like this. And if you can set yourself up for that and not even look at it, like almost like a set and forget it, these manipulations you'll never be impacted by these manipulations. Like you'll never wake up going, God dang, being all angry and upset, because in all reality, I mean, as long as you don't sell or sell and take your loss, these things will come back, especially when it comes to Bitcoin and top tier cryptos. Like I said, if you're investing in shit coins, that's a different ballgame. Like you can't take the advice of what Crypto Merc's saying, because again, you'll probably lose no matter what. So yeah, that's good sound advice, Crypto Merc. Thanks so much for the $10 super chat as well. Hey Austin, what's your opinion about staking? If it's auto staking where you can actually get it off, I'm on board. If it's where you stake and have to set it aside for a certain period of time, I'm not down with that. Subscribers out here catching leg shots. Do you know about some random guy getting his name involved? I have no idea, Blue. I'm with you, F Joe. When you just keep running out of money for the dip, that's why I said I don't always say buy the dip. I say try to accumulate when you can. Just accumulate when you can. The fact Ripple dumps 1 billion coins a month is the biggest negative for me. Yeah, it could be tough, right? Sometimes a lot of people don't like that. You're very reached. How do you feel about that milestone community is appreciating what you're doing? Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited to almost reach 100,000 subscribers. I've been on YouTube since 2016, so yeah, I've been doing this for quite some time on YouTube, like creating content, not necessarily just crypto, but just content creation. So I mean, I'm almost 10 years into doing content creation on YouTube, and to almost hit that 100,000 milestone would be awesome, right? I mean, not saying that like that I need to hit the 100,000 to feel to have like any accomplishment felt, but I mean, it is a milestone, right? And I would be super excited for it, and couldn't be more appreciative of the people that just keep showing up and showing out every day and supporting me, even though I've been super inconsistent. And I've kind of hit a a dead spot right now with the growth. I'm actually losing subscribers every day now than gaining. And that's kind of what happens in the markets, though. When crypto markets are down, any crypto creator out there loses subscribers. So I've experienced the ups and downs of crypto. I think back in the bear market last year, I think I lost like almost 6,000 or 7,000 subscribers through the bear market. So as much as you try to, when the markets are doing good, you'll get a lot of support. When the markets are not doing good, you'll get the opposite, right? So yeah, when it happens, it happens. I'll be super excited for it, to be honest with you, dude. And I couldn't be more appreciative of the community that shows up and always shows out. So yeah, appreciate the question. I'm okay with the government being involved. I think that if you find a good crypto or ones that actually can help change things, I have no problem with it. So I think that's kind of cool. If you get into cryptos that are actually worth something. Show feet pics at 100K subs. What was your first video about? It was actually content. It was actually food content, dude. Food content was I ate. I used to do. That's kind of where I started, was doing food content. But I'm not really passionate about food. It was fun doing it. Don't get me wrong, it was fun doing it. But then I sort of switched that all up, and then, like I said, my passion sort of became crypto, and that's kind of where it fell, dude. So yeah, the market fell like 60%, and I was still in the green. If you watch my very first video on YouTube, it's so cringy, bro. I think I actually, to tell the truth, it's down right now. So some people might have seen it, but it's so hella cringy. Oh my gosh. Ran out of room to finish post, but buy the dips during the bottom of the bear market for the ride back up, or sell percentage when the peak passed 60 to 70%, sell out a piece. Yeah, that's good sound. I mean, obviously crypto market's been through this before. Trying to find the top is going to be hard, right? Trying to sell your profits is going to be tough. That's where you're going to run into like a lot of anxiety, is trying to anticipate the top. The next spike in prices will push us over 100K, definitely. I hope so too, Craig. Need golf weather to come back so I have a day to clear my head. Hey, you can watch isn't the Masters on today? The past week brought my average XRP price nearly $3 down to 2.46. That's pretty good, bro. That's good. I'd probably go for the orange that tastes like a kiwi. I think I'd be okay with that one. Today's golfing weather in Kansas. Yeah, sorry, I'm working on it right now. I'm working on catching up with the chat. Switch from food content to feet content. Just open up an OnlyFans for feet content. Dude, that'd be wild. When it comes to Trump and all the Illegal Aliens Act, do you think they are being denied due process? I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. There's so much legality to it. I think my big thing was just the illegals that were here. This is just my take on it. The illegals that were here that were causing havoc on communities, and the ones that were just bad for community, those are the ones that should be really, I mean, those are the ones that need to be gone, right? Because there's a lot of people here who probably are illegal that have done, that could be expedited to get, working visas and things like that. So I hope that they create a process like that, because there's a lot of, people that, they might have came over illegally, but they've actually helped our economy. They've helped our communities. They helped a lot of that kind of stuff. So like, those are good, as much as they came over legally, and people say, well, that's illegal, and that, that they should be, whatever it might be, that's fine, whatever you want to say. But, those people have contributed in a good way, and they're good for the community because they're not, dangerous or violent. I think you should find a pathway for them, for sure. Especially people that have been here for like 17 years, seeing them get deported is kind of sad. Moms getting deported after 17 years of being here, like that is kind of like, But really, I think the focus should be on the dangerous people that are here. And I think that's their biggest focus right now. So, and hopefully during that time when they're, getting rid of the dangerous people here in America, they're finding ways to expedite the good people to stay. That's kind of where I'm at with it. and then find a better way to create a pathway into the United States. That's, we're bringing people here that want to be here and, want to be Americans. That's kind of the whole thing here is I think for me is that like, I want people to be, I'm prideful of America. I'm an American. My family came over on a boat, went through Ellis Island, to become United States citizens. Now now we're U.S. citizens. Like, so my family's been through the immigration process. And I think I just want, I'm on board with people that want to come to America to become Americans and be prideful of the country that we live in. I think that's kind of where I'm at. And that's kind of what I'm teaching my kids is that I want you to be proud of America. I want you to be proud of the country that gives you the freedoms and the rights to choose and be who you want to be. And you wouldn't get that in a lot of other countries. So that's what I want. I want people to become U.S. citizens that want to be here and want to be American. That's it. That's just want to work and keep their families fed and clothed. Yeah, I'm with you. America is a continent. You choose a perfect time to jump in. This January was not. Let's see here. Oh, next page. Thanks so much for the $5 super chat. I know you don't got live at set time, so I always watch on replay. I can't see the chats though. Is there a setting I can change? Do you know? I think it's actually me. Do I? Let's see here. Yeah, the live chat. I have live chat replay on there, so you should be able to see the lives next page. When you go live, you should be able to see the. I think it actually the chat comes in live when I'm during the time of when I'm talking. So yeah, it doesn't show the whole chat, but it just shows the chats I think coming in at certain times. So. Yeah. Where CDAT? Where you said that are you where what country are you in then, CDAT? Native American. Come to America legally to be an American, not to import the stuff you're running from to here. Yeah. No, we all have different thoughts on it. Like I said, I'm not saying that my thought process is the same as everyone else's. Like I said, I hope the focus, and I think that's the focus right now, is to just focus on the people, the people that are you know show this to your chat. Someone was asking. Yeah, you could see the live chat on there. Yeah, you can see the live replay. Oh, I guess right here it says to go down to the live. There's a little button, 3 buttons on the bottom on the side that you click on. You can see the live thing. I'm Syria, one of the 10 countries without a Rothschild bank. Oh, okay, you're in Syria. Gosh, dang. All right. 4 friends killed. Damn, that's crazy. ATM. Yeah, and those are the people that we should the violent criminals are the ones that we should really focus on, and that's what they're doing. So I mean, like, we'll see what happens after that, right? And in the meantime, some collateral happens, But yeah, that's a tough thing, man. Next page. Some people are really for, everyone and anyone that came illegally, broke the law, and should be out, right? And that's some people's take for sure. And I'm not against that take. It's not my take, but I'm not against it. Like, if that's what they decide to do, then there's nothing I can say or do about it. Some people feel like that's not the right way to go about it, but then other people feel that's the right way to go about it. But that's, I guess that's again why you have America, is that people have their own opinions and they can have, they can speak their mind freely without, being afraid of getting in trouble. But we totally got off topic. Totally off topic right now. Cartels, dude, killing young kids. Yeah, those got to go. We're just chilling. Just chilling, observer. We're just chilling right now. I'm about to hop off actually because I got to get ready, dude. We do have some soccer stuff today. We got to leave here in about 1 hour. And are we gonna act like Fan didn't tell Austin to eat dicks? Stupid. H bar to $10. Hell yeah, dude. Let's send it. H bar to $10 would be. H bar to $10 would be nuts. Yeah, stepping into grace. Yeah, I mean, we all have our own opinions, right? Not saying that my opinion's the right path, and not everyone's going to agree with my opinion, but I mean, I'm not against anyone else's opinions either. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I'm not going to argue or be combative over it. Like, that's just my kind of personal feeling, So yeah, thanks, Austin fan. Yeah, no problem. Do you leverage trade? Just fan, yeah, fan. Do you leverage trade by the chance? Yeah, and I think that that's kind of Deb to really put it on there. I mean, I think that's what's nice about working with getting the countries like Canada and Mexico to work on decreasing the amount of fentanyl that crosses our borders is huge. Yeah, absolutely huge. I think that is a huge thing that we should focus on. You break the law, you pay the price the way it should be. You break the law, you appreciate the consequences of what will happen. But you could break the law. It doesn't mean that, like, so I'll give you an example. You decide to go 100 miles an hour on the freeway. Does that mean that you should deserve to be in jail for a year because you went 100 miles an hour on the freeway? You broke the law. I mean, you went over the speed limit by 40 miles per hour. I mean, you actually went over you actually did it pretty, you broke the law, right? So should you be held accountable for that? So what is the consequence for that, right? So that's what I'm saying. No, you probably wouldn't go to jail. I mean, you could get it for, I mean, I guess someone could put you in jail for reckless driving or whatever it is. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, there's a consequence. You'll pay a ticket, things like that. You'll be held accountable for it. But I mean, I think that there's like, not every law has to have the ultimate consequence, right? Like I said, if you're a good human being, you're a good person. Like, yeah, you broke the law, but you're still a good person. You know what I mean? Does that mean that you get the worst consequence possible? I don't know. See, that's what I said. If you just look at it from a different way, do you really deserve the worst consequence? You should go to jail. Okay, so you go to jail for a couple of days. Okay, so yeah, you go to jail for. Then yeah, does that law you should be in jail for a year? Then the law says you should be in jail for a year. I guess I don't know. I don't know if like I said, does being, but I don't know if our law says being here illegally, you have to be deported, right? I think that's the crazy thing is that people are. I mean, you have another administration that has allowed that to happen. For the Dreamers, right? We had the whole Dreamers thing coming in here. We had all that kind of stuff, right? So it's so mixed, dude. Like I said, it's way above my pay grade, man. I'm glad I'm not making the decision. I'll tell you that. I believe they were misled by the last administration. I was happy to see Trump looking at ways to ease the burden for nonviolent people, and Trump has. That's one thing that people haven't realized, that Trump did come out and say that he is trying to find ways to ease the burden. You're right, dude. He has said that. So his goal is not to focus on the people that are contributing to America. He's actually trying to find ways to, allow those people to find ways of citizenship. And I think that's the right move. That's why I think a lot of people actually voted for a lot of illegals actually voted for Trump because of those kind of things. I know not every illegal did, but I mean, I'm sure there's some people out there that might have people here, family members that are citizens and things like that. Because there were people we already saw, dude. There were the Doge just posted that there was actually millions and millions of votes from illegal citizens or illegal immigrants that voted in this last election. So I don't know, man. It's so hard to tell, dude, with all the news coming out there. It is so hard to tell. People don't shoplift here. If you steal, you get your hands chopped off. Yeah, that's an eye for an eye, right? That's an eye for an eye. Yeah. I saw that on TV. You're a criminal, good or bad, you're still a criminal. Well, it just means that you're broke the law. It doesn't mean that, I don't know if that's, so that's where I said, like, I don't know necessarily, like, if you're speeding, are you a criminal? If you're going 40 over the speed limit, are you a criminal? Or like, yeah, you broke the law, but are you really a criminal? That's why I said, I think there's there's everyone's gonna have their own opinions on it. Imagine paying into Social Security tax for 30 years, then you're just deported. Well, I don't know if they actually pay. Like I said, I don't know. I mean, you have to pay into Social Security though. You have to have either a green card or a working visa or citizenship to be able to get Social Security. So I think some of these people are using fake Social Security numbers to then get jobs. So not they don't technically will get that Social Security anyway. So, which is probably why we have so much fraud in Social Security, is because who knows where the Social Security numbers are coming from. Exactly. My truck, dude, I can get up to 100 real quick. If you get caught, it's when you get caught. You just like stocks, you get your money up and get out. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just saying, but like, not every law you break makes you a criminal, though. Like I said, does speeding make you a criminal? Does I mean, just running a red light make you a criminal? Does defending yourself on the side of the street and you decide and you knock someone out make you a criminal? Yeah, you might get arrested for fighting. You might get arrested for, assault. But, does that make you a criminal? I don't know. See, like I said, it's each our own opinion. We have a lot of immigrants have expired green cards and have a social. They just never went back to get it renewed. Yeah. Yeah, we actually had a friend who is Canadian, and they overextended their visa here, and they can never come back. You know what I mean? That was over 10 years ago. So, yeah. Crypto Mark, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. Can you pull up a fib scale quick on the XRP 3-month chart, or the one you have just now, show how it represents support and resistance lines, pullbacks? Yeah, we can do that real quick. You said the 3-month? Jeez. Can we even pull a legit looking fib on this thing at 3 months? The 3-month chart looks insane. That's an insane looking 3-month chart, dude. Let's just do the 1-month chart. So if you want to pull a fib on this, right, we're going to obviously pull down here at the bottom. You can pull a fib. This would be a little bit different of a fib. So we'll pull at the bottom of this cycle right here. We'll pull to the top of the cycle. So, I mean, you can see right here, I mean, yeah, you got your support and resist. I mean, still that $2, dude. Just so this is so 0.5 is actually a deep dip, right? So this is so 0.5 is actually 195 right now. That 0.5 is sitting on about 195 is actually a good line of support right there. So anywhere from this $2 to, and again, 0.5 is a giant. I mean, that's a deep dip, right? When you get down to the 0.68 right here, that's like a big decline. And it almost actually tapped into, if you look at it from this scale, it almost tapped into the golden pocket. So that level of support at 160 was like a perfect, I mean, if you pull back and look at that, that's a huge line of support that actually bounced off of right there. So again, you can see right here that this, when you start to get into the yellow right here, this is actually this is a good zone. So you're actually in a buy zone, even on the monthly chart right here. This is technically a buy zone because you're in a pretty good dip right here. Now again, we're going to try to get back up to around the 275 when you start to get into some selling pressure here. So we could get back into these levels of 245, 250. I mean, which is a nice little median between the 0.236 and the 0.382. So yeah, right here at these levels, this 255 to 245, which is my area of like where I could see this coming back to. Like, yeah, that's kind of where it's at, dude. So it's impossible to never break a law. Laws are ridiculous. If you were caught with 80 pounds of weed in 2021, yeah, that kind of sucks, right? You guys are crazy, dude. That's true, Lucky. 7-layer bean dip actually sort of sounds good. Crypto Market, again, thanks so much for the $5 show. I just wanted to show everyone how good of a tool the fib is. Pullback points, it's worth learning. Thanks. Yeah, I use the fib a lot, dude. I kind of really like the fib and most things here, and you can really see. I mean, look at that, dude. So you got to realize that anything past the 382 to the 0.5 is like this is technically a buy zone. So basically, what Merck is saying here is that all these dips right here are actually considered buy zones. I mean, in all reality, all the way down through here, is technically the buy zones for this next bounce back here. So I mean, and this is over a month, right? So we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, and we're still in a good buy zone here. So yeah, it's kind of crazy when you look at it. I don't think I've ever pulled the fib on a chart like that. So yeah, we hit the golden pocket, dude. This thing came down this last week to 160 and just hit the top of that golden pocket. So I'm on the way to get cheddar brisket sub at the Firehouse sub. That sounds bomb. But all right, guys, I got to bounce off. I got to get ready. I forgot. Crap, I got sidetracked. But appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you guys so much for all your love and support. Thank you guys for kicking it with me on this Saturday. The markets continue to actually do okay. We're going to see how the rest of the day goes. We're going to continue to monitor it. And like I said, hopefully we continue this weekend into the green. So with all that, hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Love you guys a ton. Thank you guys so much. We're out. Peace out, everyone.